I think it is an option to just stay out of it. I get that.
But I'm not. The problem with that is that it leaves Kelly high and dry, and I
do get that feeling too.
I will say right off the bat that the responsibility for the failure of Barstool Radio in our iteration is at least 50% mine, if not more. When we came in on the day Monday, yesterday, I saw Kelly as we were walking into the office, and I was like, I don't think we should talk about this stuff. And the reason was I thought it would create this endless loop of, okay, Nate talked about it on Friday. Ohio Tate writes the blog. Monday, Francis and Kelly come in. They address it. They get mad at Nate. They get mad at Tate. He writes another blog. Nate comes back on Friday and addresses everything we talked about on Monday. And on and on and on we go. And I thought that would get very tiresome.
And so that's kind of my thought is, aren't you relieved? Because, yes, you're right. That would get tiresome. And, yes, that is what Barstool Radio
also,
is.
That's,
and, yes,
that is definitely my
fault. When we failed, I was like, thank God.
Maybe I should have had a longer conversation with you. Because what you just described is like literally the show. And that's where, like, if I had known that about you, like that you don't want to do that or find that tiresome or grating, because by the way, it fucking is, and that's why this is a very like, it's not just a show that anybody can do. It's probably only, we were talking before you guys came in how there's only, Dave and Kirk and people like that can do it. If I had known you really felt that way, I would have been like, I don't think this is for you. But I thought that it was kind of understood. Like, I was describing it as when the drama is on, it's good, meaning the show is performing well. That's what the audience likes. When it's down is when you got to, like, carry it. But when the drama hits, you got to do the drama.
Without a doubt. And to me, a little backstory here, a couple months ago, Kelly and I got together. We enjoy working with each other. I think we have a little bit of, like, we like to try to dress a little bit and drink wine and all that bullshit. And we thought maybe there was an opportunity for some kind of a show about that. We were kind of meeting and to try to see if there was like a morning show. And the person who behind the scenes was helping us organize that got let go in the huge layoffs, and that kind of evaporated. And so when this opportunity came around, I think both of us were a little bit excited about, well, maybe this is the chance for us to create the show we wanted.
Sure.
Which I also think was we talked about before this all even started. I said all those things.
The morning show thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I told you that backstory. I told you what maybe we can turn Barstool Radio into. You said that the drama is good when it's not manufactured. Agreed. This whole thing with the blogs on Friday, apart from like the conversations with Hubs and Nate about the blog itself, no one else talked about it or cared about it. I got one text from Big Cat saying like, oh, haha, like great blog. That's it. The only people that were talking about it were the like trolls in my replies, because I saw Kirk was retweeting it a bunch. So like that's not the world that I live in. So I didn't think it was anything outside of my own immediate world. I thought like it feels heavy for me because I'm in the middle of it. No one else is talking about it. No one tweeted about it. No one said shit. So I thought no one's interested in this. The guy wrote this blog out of nowhere. I don't know him. He's calling me lazy, saying I don't work. Thinks he's got me with all this like proof. It makes no fucking sense. Like, it was stupid in my opinion.
We were saying how,
but that's what the show is.
He's taking victory laps as if he brought me down. Yeah, I'm like, you don't know what the fuck are you talking about?
Literally nobody. There's plenty of people who are like they don't earn their contract, they don't work, they should be let go, whatever. Kelly has never ever been even like mentioned in that.
Thank you for saying that, because nobody else has, and that's my only concern is what Dave thinks. And at right now, Dave thinks that
it's hard
Tate's
for people
blog is
to
real.
jump under the bus with Dave, though. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I know, but but we're all like, we're gonna watch. I've never been thrown under the bus harder than I am with this situation, and it's like, fine, whatever, I'll wear this. There's nothing I can do about it now. It's too late. Everybody, it's my fault that Barstool Radio's over, according to everybody else.
No, it's
well, you know that it is.
No, it's not. They came on. We were talking
Dave
about how
is literally saying it's my fault alone.
But you're reading immediate tweets.
No,
like I'm saying on our show, we failed. It's our fault.
I blame Kevin 12%.
You should have talked about it. I said no. I said you're not lazy. I said no one thought. Like, I don't know where.
I appreciate you saying that, but I'm saying
Nate,
nobody
gave me 12%. I will up it to 18%.
Until this
Nate,
moment, no one has said shit 20?
About it.
But I waited until I was in front of the microphone to talk about it. Like, Where do you want me to say these things?
I don't know. To my face yesterday? It would have been nice.
I said that yesterday. We were saying that. We failed. We started the ball rolling. We failed. Then you guys failed. You did fail. You did a bad job on that show. And, like, I don't know.
But that's okay.
But no one ever questioned your work ethic.
I guess it just was. I don't give a fuck what Nate has to say. What?
I get what you're saying. When I was going through that shit with Smitty, and I felt like shit every day, I was wondering, like, people were like nice to me and stuff, like my friends. I was like, why isn't anybody vocal about this on Twitter? And then they were like, it's not my thing to get involved with. I don't want to be dragged into this.
It's true.
I get
That's
but
true.
also,
It's hard.
Like,
it's hard to...
like, that Nate is still sitting here. I don't know if you got what the conversation you guys had before this. None of this would even be a conversation if you didn't try to paint the narrative that no one wants to work on Fridays.
Don't blame me.
I don't think
I'm
you
saying
should blame
that
Nate. I think Nate should have been.
Nobody does. Like, it's just.
Because Nate did a good show.
He did a good show one day on Friday.
Yeah, he did a good show.
He didn't even have
and then you guys chose not to reply to it, and that was an issue.
What he said the same things we talked about all week. What would we have replied to? He regurgitated exactly what he said to our faces on the show, but then said it again in a 2-minute scripted monologue, and then talked about how the company's nothing without him for an hour.
I mean, if you didn't think it was interesting, then I think, again, it should be a relief that you don't have to show
I thought the Dante thing was great. I liked the segments. I liked that you had some time to plan it out. That's something that we would have loved to have had, but we didn't have that. And we're still trying to figure out the situation, so we weren't there yet. And all of that drama happened at one time. Like, it was not supposed to start out being drama all the time, but then Erica resigned, and then Dave was in the office, and then all that shit happened at once. No, and it was all fine.
Like, that's when we started. Dave
it happened
took back
for
the
a week and
company.
a half.
We had the layoffs, and we had the Mean Girls, and it was like, this is good.
And it was
I know.
great. But
so
then
we
we're
had
gonna
like
keep going with the same conversation just because, like, now it's in the
some
world that
point,
nobody
to be
wants
honest,
to work, and I'm
kinda-
the laziest one here.
No, not that. But to be honest, yeah, like, that is what Barstool Radio listeners want, is that shit.
Right. So I think what happened is that we weren't Barstool Radio.
Right.
That's just what it was.
True.
We wanted to do the Kelly and Francis show. It was under the banner of Barstool Radio. The people who drive that show have the obligation to do that show.
Exactly.
And we failed at doing that show. And that's fine. I can't be, and I don't think Kelly wants to be, the host of that show.
Right, yeah.
We're
No,
just
but
not.
again, like, it didn't when it was presented, it didn't sound like that was going to be the show. Like, it sounded like this isn't going to be the show anymore. We're going to turn it into something else similar to, like, the Yak or whatever. We need something in New York that is like that because this isn't working.
Yeah.
So I wrote that fucking novel email to everybody. I'm talking about an hour long with you, talking about with you, 25 minutes on the phone with you. I don't know how many people I talked to on the phone about this. And I thought everyone was on the same page.
And I am
really
sorry
did.
if I didn't convey. I thought I said, like, you do the drama when there's drama, and then the in-between is where you have to have a
we were
good
doing
show.
the drama when there was drama, but yes, we did not think that
Look,
this would continue. And being in the middle of it, I didn't know if it was interesting or not. I asked, "Is this interesting?" Everyone was like, whatever. We're gonna get stuck in this spin cycle." And I agreed completely. I said, "Yes, we're gonna just talk about the same fucking thing for 4 days again, and then Nate's gonna talk about the same thing on Friday, and it'll go on forever." Like,
But, like, that's what we did
already
with, like, the
people
Mean
were
Girls,
saying-
and it was like,
I know, but
monster
already people were.
numbers
I was under the impression that people were sick of it already and wanted us to move past it. Like, that's
Here's how
But
naive
look,
I
mean,
was.
like, you're
No, I do.
You're from the
yes,
reality world,
and I
you
am
know.
so fine with drama. But I also know when you harp on about the exact same thing, it gets stale. Like, you can't.
But
how
there
long?
wasn't the exact same thing.
The Ohio Tate, you mean?
Ohio Tate. That blog stemmed from you pretending
You
like I
have
don't
to-
work on Fridays.
You have to stop blaming me. You have to. You have to stop.
I would
blaming
like you
me.
to take a little accountability for stirring up the narrative that no one wants to do shit on Fridays. That's the only
I took a
accountability I want you to
1%
take.
blame.
Fucking cunt, Nate.